Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve. So, how many of you out there have heard about something called the Restrict Act? Well, if you haven't, then you better get to know what this act is all about because, as you probably guess, it goes way beyond just banning TikTok. It may indeed actually be used to restrict social media platforms across the board. Joining me today to talk more about that and how we can effectively push back is New York Times bestselling author and book strategist Joanna Hunt. Joanna's a master at getting information disseminated in an era of censorship and government overreach. So, Joanna, first of all, welcome back. But, just fire away here. I mean, you're a Texas woman, right? Fire from the hip. What's really going on with this Restrict Act and this TikTok ban?
Yeah, Dr. Turley, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you and your amazing audience. And of course, this topic of censorship is near and dear to my heart. And that's a really good question. What is going on? Anytime the government says, we are here to help, we are here for your safety, that's when we have to slow down, take a step back, and lift the hood, if you will. So this is a bill that's just been introduced. Everybody's talking about it as the TikTok ban, and it's bipartisan, and the Biden administration supports it, which, hello, again, that should be our first clue that things might not be as they seem. But the Restrict Act stands for Restricting the Emergence of Security Threats That Risk Information Communications Technology Act. Take a deep breath. Somebody worked really, really hard on that acronym to make it all fit. But basically, what would happen if this gets passed is that the government would pretty much have unfettered access to take control of any technology platform, communication platform, social media, you name it. It's the whole thing. And that should really make every American stand up and really dig in on this, Dr. Turley.
Yeah, so I noticed this in doing my own research that news outlets from both sides of the political aisle, both political left and political right, were very concerned about it. Even Vice, which we just found out today is going bankrupt, the ultra-left Vice, they ran a number of articles opposing this. So the real bipartisanship seems to be in opposition to this. What do you think?
Well, and there, of course, it depends on which news outlet you listen to and how they spin it. There's always a little bit of spin. If you go to one side, you're going to hear it one way. If you go to the other side, you're going to hear it one way. One day it's going to be one thing, the next it's going to be another, which is why it's so very important. And I love that you promote free thinking and critical thinking, is that we all stop as Americans and take a look at what this bill is all about. And so, if you look at it, you'll see, I pulled some notes out from section 5.3, which outlines this massive list. I mean, I'm not going to go into all of it because, people can go read it themselves, but satellites, cable, telecommunications.
So these are all the things that the Restrict Act gives the government control over.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Total control. And so so it's packaged in, if if there isn't a terrorist attack from Russia or China, or it comes against us and it's using any of these platforms, then that's when they can take it over. But we all know when the government gets to define things, that's when everything goes off the rails just a little bit. So for example, let's just say, for one scenario, that the government determines that someone in Russia or China has used Bitcoin to fund a terrorist attack. And again, the government gets to define what the terrorist attack is.
Right.
So because Bitcoin enabled the funding of the attack under the authority of the Restrict Act, Bitcoin could be outlawed across the country, which means anyone in the US who transacts in Bitcoin at that point could face 20 years in prison plus total confiscation of all of their assets. That's a lot of power, Dr. Turley. I mean, we should all be screaming, calling our senators and making noise about this.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Because you're on the front lines of communication and information dissemination alike. So what can we do about this? This seems a bit crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, first, there's the practical steps. There's taking action. There's calling your senators. There's posting about it. There's telling your friends, encouraging your friends to take action. We have power in and of ourselves, but then we have the power to influence our families and our friends and the people around us, and just sound the alarm. My publishing company has the logo of Paul Revere, who was running around waking people up and saying, hey, guess what? It's time to take action. So that's what we're all about. And I know that's what you're all about as well. And so, that's one thing that we can do. But even beyond that, we have to start taking back the narrative and the information and start speaking truth louder than the lies. When the government is trying to censor us, we need to push back. We need to make our voices heard. We need to stand up. And of course, the platform that's near and dear to my heart is a platform that can't be erased with the touch of a button. It can't be altered and edited by AI at the end of the day. And that is through books and through media and getting your story out. You may have a story that is maybe, social and politically based, or you may just have a personal story of overcoming that you can use to empower others on a spiritual level, on an emotional level. The more we empower others through our stories, the more we come together in truth and rise up as a collective that becomes undefeatable.
Yeah, it's you said that so beautifully. I mean, this is what I love about being a patriot is we know being a patriot is not a spectator sport, right? You got to be in the game. But I love it too in terms of how you're calling us to draw from timeless resources, right, that we can tap into to effectively respond to the challenges of our day. I love how you put it in the sense blog posts could be deleted, but a book lasts forever. Quite literally, the book, right, is eternity. So, in the midst of this very potential mass censorship, this is where the timeless activity of influencing others through writing a book comes in. Now, I know many of our viewers have always wanted to write a book. Many of our viewers have worked with you. Dozens and dozens of our viewers have worked with you. Just so for somebody who's watching right now, who's always wanted to write a book, what advice could you give to them to take steps towards getting that book written, published, and push back against all this nonsense?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the first and number one most important step is to take action. You're never going to have a time in your life is like, oh, it's the perfect time to write a book. No, you have to figure that out and live life at the same time. And that's one thing that I offer to people as a 20-year veteran and coach and strategist. I have a program that helps people live life and write their books at the same time. Right now, I have a group of students who have wanted to write their books for 20 years, Dr. Turley. I have three students, 20 years. They are almost through my 12-week program and almost finished.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing. And so it doesn't have to take years and years. You can get done in weeks, not years. When you have the right plan, when you have a strategy, when you have a guide, and when you have coaching, accountability, and support. And so we're offering, a free training, Dr. Turley, right here on May 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern time, where we're going to help people take those first steps. And it's so important that you take action quickly because, like I said, it's never been a more needed time than the conservative voice to rise up. And it's being suppressed everywhere. People are coming to us all the time saying, oh, other publishers won't take us, or they won't even look at my manuscript because of my beliefs, or they want to scrub them out, or they want to make them broad, or they don't want to be offensive. Well, let me tell you, sometimes the truth is offensive. And that's what we're all about, is helping people package and share truth in a way that is easily entreated by the masses. And so we're so excited to work with you and to work with your audience and to bring these dreams to life in a way that will have impact and lasting impact. I mean, I have books in
Yeah.
my house, from the 1800s, which is
You're right.
really amazing. That, like you said, these books, they last. And you know what? Somebody can't just pull the plug. That book
Yeah.
is going to be, available. That truth is going to be available to share, for generations and generations to come. So now's the time to write the stories. Now's the time to share your truth. Now's the time to just share your testimony of who you are in life and how you got to where you are. Because when you take a step and when you show people the way, they're going to follow. People right now are waiting to hear your story. They're waiting to hear what you have to say. And so it's time. It's time to take action.
It is, and again, I love the way you do it. There's never a perfect time. We're always waiting. I'm sure among those who took 20 years to write their book, that's what they were waiting for, the ideal time when life slows down and so forth. Gang, take it from someone who's written over 20 books. That never happens. You just have to learn how to integrate it into your daily schedule, and that's what makes Joanna so wonderful. She coaches you to do just that. Yeah, and you don't just show how to write and publish a book. I mean, again, you are a publisher. You have published Patriot Writings and so forth. Can you give a little insight into that?
Yes, Dr. Turley, we're so excited to be in this space because, like I said before, so many conservative voices are being censored and being pushed back. But we're so thrilled because we have the distribution platform that supports all of the top 5 publishers. You're not just going to be on one platform or with one tech giant who can censor you on their platform.
Right.
You're going to be available everywhere books are sold, and really around the globe in English speaking countries. We do offer services in other languages as well, but we start with the US because this is where the bulk of our market is. And so we help people get their book distributed, get it written, and teach them how to get their voice out there. And we also offer some marketing support as well. And so, my passion is to see people's dreams come to life, but more importantly, I'm a patriot. I'm a freedom fighter. I come from a long list of military professionals, and it was just always instilled in us, just faith, family, and freedom. And so that's what we're all about. So I love to look for people who also have that same passion and mission. And we work with CEOs and doctors and housewives and technologists and, all across the board, no matter what you're doing in life, no matter what stage of life you're in. Dr. Turley, we actually published 2 mothers separately of triplets.
Oh, wow.
I say,
Well,
if you're a CEO, you're busy. If you're a mom of triplets, forget
right.
it.
That's right. What is sleep?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how busy you think your life is. If you have passion and drive in a story, we can help you get it out. So I'm very excited about this training, and I hope that people will get registered, because the faster you take action, the faster you'll get your book in your hand.
Absolutely. And there is some limited seating there, so we have to take advantage of that as well. Gang, we've had so many of our Turley talkers work with Joanna. And I've seen the books, the topics. They're so diverse. They're so wonderful, and what she's offering here really is a chance of a lifetime. I mean, if you want to leave a legacy by putting your ideas down to paper and print, then you're going to absolutely have to click on that link below and join Joanna and me for our free Q&A on May 18th. It's a Q&A brainstorming session, as I understand it, right? And a little bit of a free training on May the 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern to learn about how to publish and bounce some ideas off each other and the like. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, Joanna. I'll share this with everyone here. So I have four children. And my youngest is about to graduate high school next year. Of my 3 who have graduated, as a graduation gift, I gave each one of them a book I wrote about them. So our whole life together, our 18 years together, I put together in a book. It's about, I don't know, 8. Every one was about. I'm so worried they're all going to compare years later. Go, hey, he wrote more about you than me, but they're all about 80 to 100 pages with digital photographs in there and all that good stuff. Just different chapters about special moments of our lives together. And I have to say, this one of the most just the heartfelt element to it is, they'll be 80 years old and they'll still have that book from dad. There's just nothing like that. And gang, if you've ever thought of doing something like that, or maybe I just inspired something there for you, this is it. May 18th, my wife's birthday, by the way, May 18th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Click on the link below. Seating is limited, so don't wait. All right, make sure to reserve your seat right now. I'll be there. Joanna's going to be showing us how to do just her amazing method of getting our ideas on paper, published, and for the world to enjoy and to be blessed by. That's what's so key. If you're not getting those ideas on paper, you're actually withholding a blessing from other people. So don't be selfish. Put it down on paper, get it published, and Joanna's the one to show you how to do it. Joanna, well, I thank you for scaring us on the one hand, but then also giving us amazing hope and an action plan on the other. You really help us make sense of this crazy world. So I can't wait for our training session in just a couple of weeks. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes, I'm very, very excited. Don't forget, number one, take action, call your senator. And number two, take action to register for the free training, publishandgo.com/Turley, publishandgo.com/Turley. And the link is below. I look forward to seeing you, to hearing from you, and to helping you bring your dreams to life.
This could be awesome. Thanks so much, Jan.